Hello, everybody, and welcome to Adobe Live. My name is Flynn, and oh my gosh, it is almost Max time, which is very exciting. And our very own Anika Aggarwal is going to be there this year. I'm not going, so I'm starting to get a lot of FOMO at the moment. Let us know in chat if you're going or if you're going to be watching live. We're going to be doing lots of coverage here in Asia Pacific and also in the US and all over the shop. And we're very excited in the build up to that. Without further ado, brand designer, strategist, podcaster, Anika Aggarwal. I feel like every time I introduce you, it's like another different thing. I have to try to remember that you do. How are you?
I love that. That was the perfect introduction. Thank you, Flynn. How are you today?
I'm great. Yeah, I'm excited for you because you're going to Max and you've worked on Max remotely like so many times and you're going. So I'm vicariously living through you. I'm very excited that you're going to experience it and meet lots of people that, you know, you've only met.
Yeah, I
through a
love that. I
screen.
have my DJI right here, so I'll be
Cool.
filming every aspect of it. Yeah, I took out my camera, all of the gear today, and I'm like, yeah, I need to charge everything before I leave this weekend, just to capture everything. I'm excited. And I'm also excited for a stream today, which is actually coincidentally not scheduled at all for Max. We'll be creating Max templates to give away to our audience. So I'll be creating one template in Adobe Express. I'll be using Adobe Firefly within Express to create some 3D shapes. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's really cool. Such a great idea, and even for those that are, you know, watching virtually, it's also something you can kind of get involved in, which is cool. And as always, we always learn something's changed in Express every week, so it's always fun exploring it with you, with your intimate knowledge of what's going on there. And yeah, I always come away sort of thinking, oh, that menu's moved over there, or now there's this new feature. And I'm sure there'll be lots of new stuff after Max as well. So this is when all the updates kind of happen. So. Well, hey, let's just get stuck into it, and I'm going to share your screen now, and yeah, let's find out what's happening here. This looks really cool, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, this was just some inspiration I got from Pinterest and also some assets that I got from my friend Alex Lazarus, who's also an Adobe Live friend.
Yeah,
So
I've seen his
Alex is
videos.
also yeah, he owns a brand design agency out of LA actually, and he created this resource pack called Acid Wave Pack. It's available at vrlazarus.com/resources. And it's actually really cool if I can bring it up.
Yeah.
And there are like a lot of assets which I thought would be perfect for this exercise, just to explore how these kind of images, they're all JPEGs, all high quality, they're printable, and they could be used as gradients, I feel like, and would look really cool with the shapes that I have in mind. So all of these, and there are about, I don't know, 52 images in this one volume one pack. So I'm excited to use some of these and get into it. But I made, sorry, that was a sneak peek. You're not supposed to see that. But I got these images off of Pinterest, off a creator. Credit where credit is due. I'm not sure who they're called or what their handle is, but yeah, if you reverse image search them, it'll pop up, I'm sure. And then I was really inspired by like kind of the breakdown of the image with these shapes, which in this case are not 3D objects, but they look 3D because they're 3D illustrations. So I really like that kind of mismatch of styles, almost like a collage, which is something that we also explored in our one of our previous streams. So I thought this would be a really good use case for that. And then these are some assets that all of these 3D shapes that you see on here are assets that I got in Adobe Express, which also are available here on the left navigation panel, which is actually something that's really new because the UI has changed again. For the good, because now everything's consolidated on the left hand side. We have add content where you can add media, which is just Adobe stock, all kinds, photos, videos, and audio. And then we have elements, which is essentially over here at the bottom, but now it's consolidated under the plus add content icon where you can explore all of these. So maybe if you write 3D shape, it'll pop up here. Yeah, there you go, in design assets. So all of these, like if I click on it, it'll pop over on my screen. So that's really cool. So this was kind of like the inspiration. Like if I put it next to my photograph, that would look cool because it would add like an element of depth
Yeah.
and just color. Yeah, and then you have text, upload your stuff, brands, all the usual is like that. And on the top navigation panel has disappeared. We have edit page now, which is just this properties panel opening up if you click on it. And then resize, which will just resize your page, which is the functionality remains the same, only how it looks is different.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was something that yeah. And speaking of templates, there are templates within Adobe Express as well. So there are very segregated very nicely here. We have popular templates, we have layouts, seasonal moments, trends, and then comes collaborations, which is where Adobe Express collaborates with various other brands. So we're collaborating with Premier League, LinkedIn for International Women's Day. Nikte, who's also an Express ambassador, she did a collaboration with Adobe Express, along with LinkedIn at Adobe MAX, Cannes Lion, and also Adobe MAX 2025. So if you scroll through all of these, you will find official Adobe MAX templates. So that's if that's the direction that you want to go, you can click on these and then add as pages or favorite them to use at a later date. You can also click on start a new file if you didn't want to disrupt your current workflow. So if I click on that, it's just going to open up a new Adobe Express file, which is where you can go in and edit stuff. There is something about the brand guidelines here that you will always agree to usage guidelines if you're using any of these Max templates, Max branded templates. So make sure to read through those before you're using them, and not changing any brand elements is always a good idea. So yeah, these are some like vlog style, come with me to Max and
Mm.
whatever, like let's go explore the super creativity session. And then these are super fun because you can replace your headshot essentially and then change your name and share it with your audience that you're now exploring, now going to Max,
Mm.
either in person or online. Which actually, I want to bring focus to max.adobe.com, which is where you can sign up online and in person. You can click register, and there's a pre conference for 2 days before the actual conference, and then the real conference, which is from 28th to 30th. And we have a lot of featured speakers. And there's a Max Bash, which unfortunately isn't online, but I'm looking forward to that.
You will just have
Yeah.
to, yeah, we'll just have to watch your vlog of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Watch my
always
vlog. Yeah.
that and sneaks are always the hardest thing. Sneaks is where, if you don't know, the sneaks is where they bring all of the. I love that they still bring the developers out. Like they teach them
Yeah.
like how to do their presentation. They're so adorable, if that's an okay thing to
Yeah.
say. They're so cute because you have these people, you have these confident, like outgoing types that are like, seize the moment and this is my artwork and this is who I am and follow your dreams.
Yeah.
And then you sort of have these developers who are taking the stage for their first time speaking to like 10,000 people live, and it must be so
Yeah.
nerve-wracking, and they come out and they're talking about this thing they've been working on, and it's just awesome. Like they're so I just want them to be successful and happy. Like I just watched it and I'm like, you're doing a great job. This is awesome. You're just incredible. And some of that stuff that is shown at Sneaks sometimes gets into the apps as well, like basically depending on the crowd
Yeah.
reaction. So I
Yeah.
think Project Turntable was shown.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
Project Turntable was last year, and it's now in Adobe Illustrator. So pretty cool.
Which is pretty cool. So yeah, there you go. It's always a fun thing to watch, and yeah, that's when I start getting jealous. It's quite nice to watch the streams at home where you can kind of make notes and Google things and kind of follow people and everything, and it's nice and relaxing. That's okay. But yeah, once you get to kind of party mode, like, yeah, okay, I wish I was there.
Yeah. While you're talking about that, I am using, I think, which is now a very controversial font, Poppins, but it kind of matches the Adobe font in terms of how minimal it is. So I just
Right.
thought it'd be nice to use this.
Why is it controversial? Is it being overused?
I
Is that why?
I think so. I think
Okay,
it was just
yeah.
like overused, so people started judging others who used it still. It's
Right.
like, okay.
That's so funny. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, here's like a basic layout. I actually basically just took inspiration from this, but not really. But it does say join me at Adobe Max and then all of the things. The font is different, but I did want to keep it true to how the Max branding is, but not really. I did change the fonts because I don't have access to official fonts. I was like, let's just use something that's minimal, is sans serif, and that I'm allowed to use. So that was one. And then now what I want to do is actually create generative AI content. So I went to add content and then generative AI. This is where I can access all of the Adobe stock, sorry, the generative AI artwork as well. So now it's separated into this own category. I can browse through it if you wanted to. If you didn't like that, you could go in and create your own shape. So you can pick the size that you wanted. I'm going to choose square in this case. And I'm also going to grab some of these prompts that I experimented with earlier. And all of these are very, very simple. Like, I want them to have this information. I want it to be a pencil icon with a matte finish, minimal geometry, no texturing and stuff, and like all of these gradients as well. This gradient actually may not match with what we get because I will be using style and composition reference. And if you've not used the style and composition reference, what it means is with style references, you refer to an image that you've either generated or it's a stock image or it's your own personal image that you want to make the style of the generated image. So it'll match the style. When I say style, it's the look and feel of the image. And the composition is essentially this example, which is actually really good because these are three eggs in the first image, which now become ice cream scoops, which is
Yeah.
exciting because you give that prompt that I want ice cream scooped in that shape, basically. So
Mm.
it's getting that arrangement from here. So what I'm going to do is get a style reference here. Sorry, there's too much. And I'm going to use Alex's acid wave pack. And I think I want to do something like warm tones. So maybe 6 is a good option, 7 is a good option. Um, Ooh, this looks fun. Maybe.
Mm.
Let's do this. I don't know. We'll see. And then we can always go ahead and change it. If we don't like this, we can click the cross icon and then go back and change whatever we're using.
Mm.
But let's pick that for now. And then I also have some Adobe stock images that I licensed earlier. So since you won't have access to Alex's pack, I would encourage you to go to Adobe Stock and find out gradients. So you can just go in and look up gradients at stock.adobe.com/free, and you'll be able to find any of these. Or if you are watching this, take a screenshot right now and you'll be able to license the exact same free stock.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I went in and I also licensed some of the shapes which we could use. So maybe we could use this icon. And this is 3D. This is an Adobe stock image. And I was like, you know what? Let me use this as like my composition reference. So I can
Mm.
tell Adobe Firefly now that this is the style I want, this is the shape I want, but here's also the prompt. So I'm supplying all the information and AI is generating it for me. For the model, you have also non-Firefly models, which are not commercially safe, but I'm going to be using Firefly Image 3. Sorry, I clicked out of it. And then you can choose the content type. I'm going to leave it as art in this case. And then also styles. I don't want any of these styles to be applicable because then it might take away from the style that I want.
Right.
So I'm going to click on generate and just let it do its magic.
Is that
And once we have
common?
that,
Yeah, sorry, go on.
sorry, go ahead.
I was
Go
just going
ahead.
to ask a question around that. Is that a common thing to avoid, like clicking the other things when you've already got a style reference?
I think it does make a difference because kind of makes an impact on how the AI is learning
Right.
from the input that you've given. So right now, since our style was like so like I don't know how to explain it, but like it had no shape at all. And
Mm.
that's why the shape here has lost that composition. But as you generate more, Adobe Firefly learns from these outputs and then tries to generate closest to what you wanted. Like, for instance, the first one wasn't really what I wanted because I can't remove background here. But this one came closer to that.
Right.
This one is closer. This one, not so much. This one, maybe, right?
Yeah.
So some of these assets may not be the way you want. So what I'm going to do is essentially, and once you click out of it, you see that there's no like generate, like changing the prompt option here. But if you click on generate image, it's going to open up that menu and you can go in and change your prompt
Oh,
again.
great.
What I'm going to do is change the style here, which is something. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that was all. It was just interesting that you can sort of go back and regenerate it. Like it kind of.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I did not know for the longest time that I could do that. And I was like,
mm,
oh, that's cool
mm,
because then that means I can do this. Okay, I think I know what's wrong. Because I wrote in neon gradients of orange and coral, that's probably why it couldn't understand. But now we have kind of orange. So let's see what happens. I'm going to click generate.
right.
Hopefully, this will work better this time.
Hmm.
We'll see. But I think I want to bring in some collage elements as well. So maybe I'll bring in some torn paper edges. That would be fun.
Right.
Okay. It's slightly better. I think these results are slightly better than. I think I want to remove the neon gradients in the prompt actually and see what happens. Okay, so now the prompt is 3D pencil icon, minimal stylized geometry, no texturing, subtle lighting and shadow, white background. The white background is definitely not working because of the style input that we have. Um, but I think removing that neon from the prompt did help us a little bit.
Mm.
Okay, it's generating. Sometimes it takes a while. I know they've been uploading stuff and like introducing a lot of new features before Max. So if something breaks and if something not working right now, it's because there's been a lot of uploads and there was an AWS outage recently and
Oh yeah.
everything just went to shambles.
Oh
It
my
was
gosh.
bad.
That
Yeah.
affects it just proves like how reliant we are on like a company.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
my banking was down, my accounting software system was down. I was trying to redo my car insurance and I couldn't do that. It took my
Mhm.
payment, but it didn't register on their side, so I had to call them, and everyone was calling them because the whole system was down. So I'm like, well,
Yeah.
I need confirmation that you received the payment, but I
Hmm.
haven't received anything. They said it's fine, and I'm like, yeah, but is it fine? Like, yeah, it was not a lot of fun actually.
Yeah.
Mm,
The whole, I think it was day before yesterday, and the whole day I was trying to achieve something, and none of the apps were working. And I was like,
mm.
oh, well, I don't know if I like this, and I don't know if this is going to work in my favor, but we're just going to make the best of our day because nothing's working right now.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so as we see, we have been exploring a lot, and there are some options that I think I might use. I like this one because it has the sheen and like it does kind of have clear boundaries. So let's go with this one, and then I can remove background within Adobe Express,
Hmm.
which is gonna let me use this asset, and then I can just put it wherever on the
That's
palette.
cool, isn't
Let's
it?
just put it.
Yeah, that's such a good job.
Yeah,
Remove background.
yeah, like there are no visible there's no visible background anymore. I do want to create some more. So let's go back. I do want to create like a heart icon because always good, always works. I'm gonna go here. And then I do the same thing. I go to generative AI and I click generate image. This time I think I might use a different model, which actually I haven't done. Maybe I should use this. I don't know. What do you think, Flynn? Should I
Yeah, give
use
it a
this?
try. Let's do it. Do it live.
Yeah, it does ask for a reference image, so maybe I'll just use the acid wave pack. I don't know how the reference image works in this, so we'll see.
Find out. So this
Hmm.
was Gemini, is the
Yeah.
image model,
Nano banana.
the Nano
Yeah.
Banana one. My goodness, what a name.
Yeah.
My theory, which we were talking about on a previous stream with Joy, and my theory is that they're often with these tech companies, and Adobe is no different. There'll be an internal secret name that they'll
Yeah.
use, which is the project name, and then it gets to launch, then it changes. But sometimes people get really attached to the original name.
Yeah.
And Adobe Express had a secret name as well for a long time, and you probably
Yep.
remember it. And I feel like Nano Banana, they just whoever was involved enjoyed that name so much that it made it to launch.
Yeah.
That's my
No,
theory,
I think
anyway.
that's what happened.
Yeah,
Ooh, I
that's
kind
cool.
of like the output, but maybe I could use this as a composition reference for my Firefly prompt. So what I'm gonna do is, sorry, my iPad's in the way of my screen, so I'm gonna put it out. I'm gonna add a page and write same page here. And in this case, I'm gonna go to my image, um, bring that over here. Wait, did it paste it? Where is it? Oh, here we go. And now I'm gonna remove background and then download it once we can. Sorry, there's a delay. But I want to use this as a composition reference
Mm.
to our shape. So let's do that. Okay, it's gonna take a second. Sometimes when you're so used to using things so quickly, you get so impatient
Yeah.
when things take a second to download. Like, can I download now?
Mhm.
Please. You know what I'm gonna do? I can take a screenshot. I'm just gonna take a screenshot to save time.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I can go in, click on generative AI, click on generate image, and then maybe I'll just say 3D heart icon, matte finish, no texturing, white background. And let's just go with that. Let's forget everything. And then I want to use Acid Wave 115, and then I want to use a composition reference, which is on my desktop. And don't judge me for all the things that I have here. And I'm going to click on generate. So we are going to see what happens. I hope this works. The other way you could do it could also be using generate similar, which would be using this image as a style reference. But
Right.
for now, I'm just going to go here because generate similar, when you're using it, you can't go back and edit your prompt. which is something
Right.
that I would like to see, but it's not a feature right now. Maybe
Mm.
it'll be released soon. But yeah, I actually do like some of these results. These are, ooh, I like this. This
Yeah.
is cool. It
Like
kind
the
of turned
chrome
out really nice.
effect.
Yeah, like a chrome heart
Mm.
effect. This could be used in. I love these. I think this is a good workflow where I'm using Nano Banana to make the shape and then using that as a Firefly. Is that still commercially safe? I don't
I
know.
was gonna say I don't have no idea. Like it's so ambiguous. I think in that sense. I mean,
Yeah,
the
the lines are
go
so blurry with
go on
that.
to any artist's comment section. I think at the moment, if you're using AI art, and then you'll join the debate. Like it's
Hmm.
there's a lot going on. I feel
Yeah.
like it's constantly because that's it, right? It's like okay, but I use this one to inform this one that is.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm no authority there. I don't think anyone is yet.
Yeah.
It's all
It's
constantly
so great.
changing. Yeah,
Yeah.
mileage seems to vary depending on who you are and what you do as well. So,
Yep.
yep. What do you think, chat? Let
It's
us know.
yeah, what do you think? I think honestly, I feel like it is still so gray, which is so weird because AI has been around for a couple of years now.
Yeah,
So I'm
definitely.
like, should it be weird now? I don't know. Okay, I'm actually, while we're talking about this, I'm using generate similar in this case, but I
Mm,
can't go back. Once I click outside this image, I can't go back and edit the prompt, and I'm just doing it with the pencil because I'm not completely like 100% happy with this because it's not the same look and feel of the heart.
mm,
So I'm just gonna use the heart as my style reference in this case, and then click on generate. So it might, we did a stream, didn't we, for my podcast images, and we use generate similar in that?
hmm.
I think so.
Yeah, we did.
So yeah, this is doing the same thing where it's using something that you generated or using it to be stock and works the same way that you would with
Mm.
a style reference. For some reason, Firefly is having a hard time generating a pencil. I don't know why.
That
We'll
one there is
see.
pretty good.
Yeah, yeah,
It does have that
it
I
is.
was made by
It
AI look to it, though.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
little bit
Like the heart
warped.
doesn't. Like a heart, you wouldn't think that it was me. Not at first glance, anyway.
Isn't it funny? Yeah, because you would think a geometric shape would be easier, right?
Yeah,
But the organic
yeah,
shapes seem to be
yep,
a bit more realistic, I suppose. But
yep.
yeah, because obviously maybe it's our eyes. Maybe our eyes are like there's something off about that because the straight lines should be straight, and they're not. They're a little bit
You're
off.
right.
I don't know. It's a
You're right.
funny thing. But the heart could
It's
be
interesting.
3D generated, right?
Yep. Okay, let's see if this prompt works. That one didn't work at all, but I'm gonna see if it works. And you know what? I actually want to open up a new Express project so I can generate multiple things at the same time because I can't do that in one file right now.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna say generative AI here, click on generate image, and then I'm gonna grab a prompt from here. The pencil is having such a hard time. I don't know. Give me a different icon. What can I generate for it to be like creative and like fun? I don't know.
Um,
Maybe we could do like a
hearts,
string.
flower. Yeah, was it hearts is like flowers. Uh, I'm thinking like emojis, like a happy face.
Let's try
Um,
that. A 3D smiley emoji. Oh, I don't know what I did. Okay, let's try this. I don't know what will happen. I hope it's not something scary. Okay, and then meanwhile, I'm gonna write a different prompt here. I'm gonna say a 3D paperclip. I think it was a paperclip, matte, soft finish, no, or let's write minimal texturing, white background. And then I'm gonna go style, choose the same acid wave pack that we had. Sorry, there's a lot of folders here. I try to be organized sometimes. And then I have composition reference. Oh, here we go. There's an Adobe stock paperclip. This should work. This should work. And ooh, interesting. This is so overly joyous. I have never seen a happier smiley face. I love it. Okay, this one could pass as doable. I
Get
could
away
see
with
this.
that.
I could see using
Yeah.
this.
It's funny because it's made a sphere, but I was thinking more of like a 2D, like a 3D circle, if that makes sense. Like something more flat, like the badge from Watchmen or something like that. When I was thinking of smiley face, so it's really funny when you don't. You obviously have to be very prescriptive.
Yeah. Actually, I like this. Maybe we could use this one. This one isn't bad because it's kind of taking like the light here as well. Let's see one more iteration. And meanwhile, go to a different file. Ooh, okay. The paperclip one worked really well. I think this looks really nice.
That's cool. Yeah.
Or this one. I don't know. Not this one. Not this one. Okay. Let's see. Everything's working right now. Okay. Maybe I like this one is really creepy. I would never use that. I would never use that. Let's use where was the one that I liked? I really don't know now. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Let's use this one. I don't know how I feel about it, but okay, this one is the least creepy of them all. Let's click outside. I'm gonna click done.
Least creepy. That's the best we can do today.
I almost replaced it. Yeah. Sorry, I almost had a mini panic attack because I replaced the heart with
right. Yeah.
emoji. And I was like, yeah, I didn't want that. Okay, now this is going off in a different direction because this is the kind of vibe I was going for, and this is just not doing it for me.
Yeah.
But we're gonna keep it anyway. It's fine. I have too many windows open. All right, let's see. I guess this could be it. Okay, let's click outside. And I'm going to use this. I'm just going to copy paste into my project and bring it here. And then I'm going to do remove image. And then we'll bring in one more.
Wow, I was going to say, I was wondering how good a job it was going to do cutting that paperclip out, but it did a pretty good job.
It did a pretty good job, yeah. Okay, and this is going to be kind of like, I'm just arranging this on the canvas being like, this is where my image will go. So what I'm going to do is drag and drop my headshot. So let's bring that in. Like so. And then I want to send it to back. So right click on it, send to back. And this is where we are. Maybe I want to add some paper elements that we talked about. So I'm going to go to add media, and then I'm just going to write paper texture because that helps always. And then what I'm actually looking for, I'm going to go to my inspiration, and these are like kind of the tapes and stuff that you typically see in a collage because people usually make it tactile, but that's not what we're doing. And we want to achieve the same look with digital collages. So maybe I'll use this one. I guess we can crop it. Let's use this one. And once you crop it, I'm going to do remove background. So I think this workflow is like super simple. It's more so about seeing how you can create a template. And then I would just go use your creativity to create everything you want. And like, that's it. You can go in and edit this template as well once I created, and that's the process that I'm going to showcase after. And what I did now was using that paper texture, I just applied a duotone effect with the same shadows and highlight colors, which just lets me create a background.
And that's how you can change anything to any color.
Exactly. And so now I can just go in and put it on top of my image. So right over here. And my image wasn't sent to back for some reason, but here we go.
That's cool. I'm going to have to try that. I did something similar with paint that I ended up making it black and white and then colorizing it, but it wasn't quite right. It still retained. Yeah. I think it like retained lumosity or something values, but that's a really interesting way to do it. So that's my Anika taught me something I didn't know for the day. Thank you very much.
I love it. Thank you. No, I always try to do duotone because it helps. It just if I don't have remove background, it's all just gonna do the same color because now the highlights and the shadows are the same. So you have to remember that before you apply any effect, you have to go to remove background. So select your image, go to edit and go to remove background, and then apply the effects from the effects tab. So once it's removed the background, that means there's only one object here without the background. So the colors will only affect the subject in this case.
Yeah.
Sorry, I said object earlier. And then you have this, which now it isn't 3D anymore, but I just want the edges, which
Yeah.
are like roughened almost. And so I'm just going to use that and then scale it up. And in this case, send to back. And then I'm going to send my image to back as well, which just sends it all the way to the back at the layers panel. So now I have something like this, which kind of looks like the headshot is like trying to come out of this paper. It kind
Right.
of gives it that 3D illusion. And then I can go in and zoom in or out my image. I think this would be good. And then I can go in and make further changes, which I really like. And then bring in your elements, almost like you putting a paper clip and then bring in some more elements. I'm actually gonna delete this smiley because it looks kind of creepy.
Didn't make the
But
cut. Fair
yeah, yeah,
enough.
it didn't sit right with me, but
Yeah.
I did go ahead and generate some assets. So I am going to use some of these, which are actually, if I open up the prompt here, go to generate image, are basically the same thing that we did. So yeah,
Right.
I'm going to use these assets instead because they're much nicer, I think. Um, and yeah, this is the pencil. I think this is still not perfect over here, but I think this is much better than
Yep.
the
It
prompt
is.
that I gave today. um yeah, but I think this is cool, and then we can replace it with any other headshots we have. So if I can duplicate this, I can use another headshot. I'm gonna browse through some of my um some of my headshot collections here. But I am gonna bring in one of my podcast guests and just bring him here. And then if I send it to back, this is Kirk Wallace, if you didn't know. Brilliant illustrator, amazing work. Worked with Adobe a lot of times. But anyway, this is how your headshot would look if you were going to Max Cook. And this is my headshot. So any image, any color, everything looks great. This is actually very cohesive with his photograph.
Yeah, the
And I love
chromey
it.
colors.
Yeah, the gradients look so nice with
Yeah.
this headshot example.
Yeah. Good choice.
But sorry, Kirk did not give me permission to use his photograph. But that was just an example.
I'm sure it'll be
We're
fine.
using my headshot. Yeah, no, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
We'll live. But now you could go ahead and download it from this option, or you could share it and create a template. And I'm gonna show you how you can create it. I don't know why this is happening. It's still working on my file for some reason.
Mm.
I am gonna refresh it just to. Oh, okay. I'll wait.
I mean, as you said, there's probably a lot of stuff happening in the background in the lead up to Max. You never know.
Probably. That's
These
probably
things happen.
happening
Yeah.
right now as we stream.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyway, let's open up the link that I'm gonna share with you all. So there will be a link right after stream in the description that you can actually go to and download. And once I paste that in my browser window, it's gonna open up this screen for you. And this is public, so you'll be able to copy this link and share it with anyone you want, or you can use the template. It says edit template, but it'll only be edit template for me because I'm the creator of the template. You won't see this button. And once you click on use template, it'll open up a new Adobe Express file, which is essentially the template that I'm giving away. So you have media and some icons that you can replace. None of these elements are logged because I didn't want it to be very restrictive. And so you can go in and click on this icon and say, maybe I want to replace it. So you can go in, replace with upload, and then use your headshot, for instance. And then it'll apply the same effects that you already had in here. And this
Right.
is slightly different. You can go in here, zoom in, zoom out, whatever, change it if you didn't like the orientation. Maybe you wanted something like this. I don't know, just have fun with it. You can go in and do a million changes within here. So that's cool. And let's do something like this. Maybe I didn't like this. I'm gonna scale that down and then have that.
Yeah.
And I think there's a rotation thing, but I don't see it. Anyway, this is not 0 degrees right now, but you can go ahead and fix that by holding shift or just rotating that.
Mm.
And then that's it. That's how you use the template. For us to be able to make a template and to show that, I think I want to showcase that, but right now it's just not working. I'm gonna see if refreshing works, and it's fine if the changes are not saved. Um, we'll see. Oh, they are saved. Okay.
Mm.
It's not that. Okay, there we go. All right. It
I
was
just
just
need a
probably
refresh.
like yeah, it was a web page thing. So for downloading it, you have various options. You can download all the pages or selected page. I'm going to do PNG for the highest size, and you can also change the sizing of it. I'm going to leave the scale to 1 and click on download. And this is just going to let me download it, and then I can share it wherever I wanted. But if you wanted to create a template of your own, not for Max, but for other things that you might be doing with Adobe Express, let's say a thank you card invite or anything that you're doing, you could go into the share button here and then click to convert to template. This is going to convert your whole file to make sure that all the elements you have here are the ones you want in your template. Right now, you can't choose the page that you want as a template. So if you wanted to have just one page, still retain the copy of the file, go ahead and make a duplicate of the file before you make a template. In this case, I'm just going to leave it as is. The location you can select here, so it can be anything under a file or project. Previously, we saved these under the brand, but now you're able to save it in your files. So you can save it in any of these folders. Let's say this is the folder that I wanted to save to. I'm going to select that and then say this is an unofficial Adobe Max template created during an Adobe Live session. And then you can either keep a copy of this file or convert it to a template. I'm going to click keep a copy because if I wanted to make some changes or grab some of these assets, I wouldn't have to go in and edit my template. My template will remain the same and as a separate file. You click on convert to template and this will be saved under your files or folders, wherever you've picked. So yeah, I think that about does it for us. I do want to go in and show the template again. Again, this will be the template that will be available. And right over here, if you see, it's the same folder location and the template that I just created is visible here now with all
Yeah.
the pages. Yeah, this is what we just created. So this is cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think that's it. That's it for us
Well, I'll
today.
have to grab the link to the template and make sure that we put it in the description after the stream today. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'll get that from you when we get off, and yeah, and you pop it in, and then anyone that's watching, you can grab it. It's really cool.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me, Flynn. This was really fun.
Thanks.
And I'll be sharing Max updates with you.
Yeah, I'll be watching. As I said before we go, is there anyone in particular that you're excited to see at Max? I'm always interested. Is there anyone in the lineup that you are very excited to? Yeah,
I'm excited to see Meg Lewis and Draplin.
Oh yeah,
sure.
cool. Yeah, it wouldn't be Adobe Max without Draplin there.
Yeah.
My advice with Draplin is because he signs the stuff at his booth, go early because he runs out. Runs out of stuff.
I have a signed copy of his book. I met him at an Adobe event here, so I have a signed copy of his book. Everything's
Okay, because I've gone. I think it took me like the third time I'd been there. I was like, I'm going straight for Draplin this time, so I want to get this thing. Because he runs out of stuff very quickly. He's very popular there, but very generous with his time. Takes lots of photos and stuff. So, well, that's awesome. Well, I'm very excited for you, and we'll be watching remotely from around the world. I know there's a lot of big announcements coming, so it's a very exciting time. And thank you so much, Anika, for joining us once again on Adobe Live.